Hey everybody, this is Peter here with the McKernan Group. I want to go over some things that possibly could come up in 2021, and it's inflation. So I know a lot of people have talked about it, economists to be specific, and those economists are talking about inflation going up because how much money we've printed over the last year. And some people have said it's been about 22% of the total time we've printed money was what we printed last year in 2020. Some people said it's 40%. So if you think about that over the grand scheme of the years that they've been printing money, and within one small year, they printed 22 to 40% of the money that we've printed over the last however long, 1776 when we started the United States. So if you think about that over just the course of a year, do you think that ultimately things are going to get more expensive? Maybe things at the store, if you go buy a truck, if you go buy a house, things are going to happen for people that are buying homes and buying other things that are going to be more expensive because it's going to cost more money, and especially other things that are involved with these packages that are coming along with the government and the administration changing things, which one thing, for instance, would be if they changed the hourly rate, the minimum wage up to $15 versus what it is now. That's one thing that's going to affect it too, because if you have Walmart, for instance, that's going to be a cheaper commodity, and you can buy milk at Walmart for more money than you could at a mom and pop that's across the street. Well, now that minimum wage goes up, ultimately what's going to happen is that mom and pop store is going to have to increase that milk price to go above what Walmart is to meet that minimum wage of their employees, which ultimately there's another effect on that inflation and then also the market. So going back to the fundamental of inflation, you want to make sure, for one, you're staying within a tight budget when you're looking for homes and you're going to go purchase a home, and also with real estate, how it potentially could affect the market is people's actual expenses on a month-to-month basis are going to go up. They may not go through the roof where it's, one month their expenses are $3,000, then all of a sudden they're going to be $7,000, but they may just be $3,000 up to $3,800. However, that's going to cause their challenges going into if they rent now and then they want to go buy in 6 to 7 months, and if we end up increasing inflation to the point that interest rate, even though interest rates are low, it really doesn't matter how much interest rates are because that inflation is going to affect what their purchase power is. So that's how it's going to affect the market if that happens. That's one thing to look out for. That's one thing that the Feds talked about at the end of September, beginning of October, of things to be on the lookout for. They talked about that inflation may go up this year, especially with all the spending that happened last year. So be cognizant. That's one thing to keep in mind. And what is that going to do for you as a home buyer, home seller? It may adjust your prices as a home for what you can afford and then how much you can sell your house for. So if you guys have any questions, if there's anything that you guys have for me, any comments, leave them below, and then also subscribe to our channel as well. Thanks for listening.